Welcome everybody to Eve Echoes. I'm Scarlet Begonia of the Jitabugs, and thank you for partaking with me in my quest to finally finish the ship. And it's been a long and arduous one. I've just got the top half of it left. No, I tease. This ship is 100% done. This is just a quick overview of the fitting and what I want or expect from it, and what you can do with the skills that you have. Which skills should you be training, essentially, to make this as effective as possible? Now, which 4 ships am I talking about? They are going to be in, not the basics, but the frigates in the second category, as you see. Not that one. That is the category just below that. And they will start at the very first one, which is a Tech 4. And only the Tech 4 frigates are going to have rig slots, so we're ignoring the other ones. And of the Tech 4s, the 4 down the diagonal, the Griffin, the Vigil, the Cruicifier, and the Maulus, are all going to have the ability to increase their range through skill points. And what I mean by that is the ship skill bonuses that are applied here. The second one is going to be Advanced Frigate Command for all of them, which means you will have to be Omega to take advantage of that particular part of this ship, which is really the reason why I'm building this ship. And if you can reach the ranges without it, it'll still work, but you won't be able to push the envelope as far as everybody else who can get farther from their targets. So the first part of it is going to be a damage, and the second part of it is going to be a range. In this case, it's going to be flight time. And this is important. This is why the build is this way. If you're unable to reach that 20 kilometer or more orbit, you will not be able to press very far into the missions or into the anomalies. Basically, if you're fighting cruisers, you will need 15 kilometers or so, and if you're fighting anything higher than that, you will need to have more. So to fight battleships or elite battleships, you're going to need that 22, 23 kilometer orbit, and if you can't reach that with any of the ships, then you will want the Vigil, which was going to give you the farthest range. You won't be hitting as hard as you want to be without the skills on any of the ships, but at least the Vigil will allow you to actually hit your target and still do decent damage. That will give you the biggest cushion, I guess. So you can see the build of the ships. It's just going to be a Navy build or less for all the slots. And you can see I'm at 22.74 optimal with a 4.13 kilometer accuracy fall off. So your optimal range represents the range from 0 to that number, and anywhere in that range you're doing 100% damage. It doesn't matter, anywhere from 0 or 22 kilometers you're doing the same amount of damage to that target. Past your optimal range, your accuracy fall off will represent 50% of your weapon loss in damage. So after 4.13 kilometers, I'm doing 50% less damage than I would in my optimal range. Then around the horn, the one mid-slot I ask of people in this build is to put a target painter. It kind of is a visual cue so that you can see that everybody's on the same target, and it leaves the second slot to anything you want. But know that you will probably not be able to run both mid-slots at the same time without draining your capacitor. For the low slots, you're going to of course have an afterburner, not a micro-warp drive. You can try it with the micro-warp drive, but you're probably going to have issues. And then of course a small shield extender, and it has to be a shield extender even on armor ships. The amount of hit points between your shield and your armor is negligible when you're fighting absolutely massive things that are going to be hitting you for anything that you would absolutely need a shield extender for. You need a shield extender. You need that passive regeneration. Try it this way. If you don't like it and you want to switch it. It's just that simple. Depending on what level of the stuff that you're fighting is, you could have a better, you can see here I'm demonstrating that you should clearly be treating this as an armor ship, but it just works out better with the shield extender. I tried it with the armor extender, it didn't work. I had to drop to an armor repairer, but the things were just hitting too hard, and you just can't push the envelope like you can with a shield extender. The shield extender is a very great cushion for oops, that's why you want the shield extender. Now, if you happen to have a nanocore, fine, chuck it in there. It'll let you paint your ship, and it'll let you do a tiny bit more damage, but that's about all those basic nanocores are going to do for you. But as we jump into the rigs, your combat rigs are going to be all about range. And I kept the total cost of my ship under 15 million of actual cost. Like the estimated values are going to be a little bit elevated here. I bought them for a lot cheaper than that. So all of these ships are very, very cheap. So basically, as fast as you can go in your engineering slots and as far as you can go in your combat slots. Because this ship is all about just trying to, all of these ships are all about just trying to get as far away as possible. Because that'll let you avoid the electronic warfare. To be honest, it's really what's going to absolutely destroy little ships is the electronic warfare. You're going to be fine. You're going to think, wow, this ship can do anything. And then, oops, triple webbed, you're dead. You know, then, oops, you got hit by 6 newts, you're dead. It's just that kind of thing. The range will let you survive the ridiculous things, while you don't need crazy range to do the normal things. But I'm going to be doing ridiculous things, so that's why I'm building this way. So what are the skills that you need? Obviously, you need command. But then what do you need? In that same category, down at the bottom, now you're in the navigation, you're going to want afterburner, and this is going to help you with your capacitor. And it's going to help you with your velocity, because you're going to want your velocity to be around 1400 or more. The faster you can go, the better, period. I mean, but, you know, at a certain point, nothing's going to hit you, so you don't need to go crazy with your spending on that. And then, as I go across the line into maintenance technology, the only thing really in here that's worth mentioning is the defense upgrade. Now, defense for the alphas is just going to be straight up 50 per shield armor structure. And that's, I guess, kind of optional for you. But you can see as you tap through those things, you can jump into the advanced defense upgrade and the expert defense upgrade, which are going to give you percentages. So you're actually going to add a percentage of your total. So this will become more and more important as your ships get larger and larger. And then to probably the most important one is the frigate engineering skills, or just engineering skills in general for whatever ships you fly. And this is what's going to give you capacitor, power grid, and it's going to let you warp places without completely draining your capacitor dry. If you've ever tried to autopilot a large industrial ship, large distance, and you don't have industrial engineering, you are going to get to one of those zones that are so massive where it's going to say, you warp, but you don't have the capacitor to get there. And then it's going to repeat that, and you're going to tap your way across the zone. For a paltry few thousand, you could fix that. So go ahead and put at least a level 4 into your engineering. It will solve your capacitor problems, I almost guarantee it. And if you want to go into electronic warfare, skill points from there, that would also be in electronics, but that would be completely optional to you. And that's it. Those are the skills that you need. The more you can dump into them, the better. And you're just going to get stronger and stronger. And these skills will also benefit you in faction war games if you like to go into the faction war games and you're going to be flying a frigate or a destroyer. So these frigate and destroyer skills will benefit you as you do them. And faction war games are part of the game. And so you might be doing that a lot. So these are skills that will benefit you and are necessary to do the crazy things that you are going to see me do in these things that I've already done. I mean, I'm making a video right after this of what I do with these ships, which is complete storylines. I just completed a storyline for over 200 million, and that's why I'm making this video. Just want my corp to be able to see that it is absolutely possible to make money at any tech level. And you'll see, it's just, you just have to be, basically, the more skill points, the more ISK you have, the less patient you have to be. You can do any of these things with very, very minimal skill points if you're patient, is the meaning of it. It just takes longer to do. You can do it, it just takes longer. So I'm trying to do it and describe it, how to do it optimally. So there you have it. I hope this really helps get things together. And it's a great way to do things in a mini fleet, because you can have a bunch of these, just everybody pick one, and you get the free mid slots, so you get a lot of random things happening, and it becomes fun because you can just fly around and you can do so many little different things as a corporation, and it can be a lot of times you get people who just join the game, and like you don't want to drag them into anything too complicated. You want them to simply be able to be like, hey, click this button, we're going to autopilot here, and we're going to fight there. Here's your ship. It's got a minimal number of buttons that are very forgiving and self-explanatory, the kind like you turn them on and they stay on kind of buttons. And it's just a simple way to enjoy the game and to have fun and still be very profitable. So I hope that helps. Now, a lot of the videos I make is because people send me tells and tell me to do stupid things with the things that I post or say. So I do, and if you have an idea, then go ahead and post it. I'll try to get her done. But other than that, please, follow, subscribe, like, do that thing you do. I hope to find you in New Eden, and I'm hoping that this will get into my corp and everybody will kind of pick one and just have one on the side, because it's fun to do things as a corporation. And this is what you can say, hey everybody, we're jumping on the Tech 4s and we're gonna go try to finish storylines, or we're gonna go scanning and try to hunt people down, or whatever it is. And if you have 20 of these, you're still talking basically no insurance points. So anything you kill is going to be a net gain for your corporation, and you're really risking nothing. Plus, if you're a new player, you can let the more experienced players go in first and kind of set the stage, so when you warp in, they're already dealing with the chaos, and you can kind of just look at it and join the fun. And of course, if you are a more experienced player, you can go in first and take that role and take the pressure off those new players. So either way, you can benefit. Thanks for watching, everybody. And as a bonus to anyone who's made it this far, you will now see the rest of the ships. Now, I did mention skill points and where to spend them. Obviously, you want to be putting skill points in the weapons of your choice. As many as you can, the more the better. They just add range, they add damage, they add all the good things you want. So all those other skills are important, but obviously you need your weapon skills also. Kind of thought that was self-evident, but I felt it might be worth mentioning there at the end. Don't ignore them. That's how you get your range, is through your skill points. All these other things just add to that, but you need your skill points to get the ranges you want.